Hey guys, that's Xmage here, and it's time to make the video that I promised I would quite a while ago, and well, there's been some requests in the meantime, so I thought, hey, better make it. It's how to install and configure Xmage, and then how to use it afterwards. We're just going to wrap it up all into one big video because there's just no need to split it up. First, you want to make sure that your system has Java. You can check by going on the control panel, then under programs, depending upon your copy of Windows, and just see if it's installed. I think any version 8 of Java will work, any patch version, but if you don't, you can just go get it for free at java.com. If you want to find the exact page, you could just go to Google and type in get Java, and that will find it. It should be the first result. In fact, it's like in a box. So you hit go to download. There you go. Page looks different, of course. Why not? But yeah, it'll give you the, I don't know, the libraries, the framework, whatever you want to call it, to run Java apps. So after that, you want to hit download. It will download a jar file right here. And if you have Java properly installed, it'll be called an executable jar file. So it's actually xmage blah 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 .jar. That is the name of the actual file. So with Java installed, you can double click it and it will actually execute as if it was an exe file. So then it'll say, it looks like this is the first time you are running the Xmage launcher. The launcher will now download its own dedicated version of Java. Afterwards, the latest version of Xmage will be downloaded. So, it wants to run version 7, release number 75, I guess subversion B13, whatever, and that's what all of their commands and all of their just everything work with, is that one version of Java. So they needed Java on your system to run the jar file, but then it's going to download its own private set of Java. So normally what would happen is you could then uninstall Java. Unfortunately, as far as I know, that doesn't work. They were supposed to do something with batch files, where the batch file would like reference, I don't know, I guess the local version of Java, and then everything would just work, but then it says it doesn't know the command Java or something like that. So I don't think they fixed that, so you're just going to have to leave Java on your system. It is a massive, massive security vulnerability, at least it historically has been. So the next time you open your browser, like Firefox, Internet Explorer, Chrome, whatever you use, and it says, hey, would you like to add the new plugin, Java? No, don't do it. I mean, drive-by downloads of viruses. Oh boy, big problem with Java. They just can't get their crap together when it comes to security. Alright, there we go. So it's all set. So now you see the launch client, that's the actual game client, then launch client and server, and then launch just server. It basically, if you launch a server, it runs a local server on your own computer. Then if you loop back, well, see, I'd have to explain the whole networking protocols and everything, but basically, if you tell it localhost, it'll say, oh, okay, connect to yourself, got it. So I might as well just launch both. Here we go, now as it's launching, that's right, I gotta tell it to allow access through the firewall. There we go. Now, the first thing it's going to say is card images are missing. There's 26,054 missing. Do you want to download them? Now, I'll just pretend that I accidentally hit no because, you know, there's a different way to do it. Now, I will cancel the login, and now you can go up in the very top right here and hit images. And if you do that, after a second while it builds the server lists, come on. Boy, Java is just the swiftest damn thing in the world. There we go. You could choose a server to download from. I've noticed that wizards.com is a pretty darn stable server. So you could tell it, okay, download images for standard type 2 only, or you could download them all. And it's about 1.5 gigabytes. So if it's standard only, we're talking 106. So if I hit start download, that's a reasonable amount. It's only 1,823 cards. And it's surprisingly fast, considering it has to fetch these one JPEG at a time. Yeah, that's actually zipping right along. I do have 25 meg internet though, and this is an i7 with 12 gigs of RAM and an SSD, so definitely no delays here. But Java is really not the most efficient, fast, zippy thing in the world, so you're going to be waiting for the program to do a couple things. Let's just fast forward ahead and pretend... Oh, wait, no, it just jumped ahead. Damn, that was fast. Well, I guess we'll wait it out then. Anyway, you saw the login prompt. That's how you log into a server. Now, there are regional servers. You could log into just North America, or you know, wherever you want, really. There's I think a European one, there's a South American one. So if one's offline, you could jump on another one. That's pretty cool. Oh, it's almost done. Now, I did notice with this download that not all of the cards always get downloaded. Either like they moved it on the server and then the reference is broken, the link is broken. So you're probably going to end up with about 98% of the cards, and that's fine. I mean, you know, it's close enough. You probably won't even come across the cards that don't have the artwork, and they'll probably fix it in the next patch. So every time they do release a patch, you might want to go recheck for the images, because it will only download the ones that you still need. And here we go, just about there. And there we go. Well, now wait a minute. It says 0.1 megabytes per minute. It's trying to download the last card. Come on. It's stuck on the last one. There we go. So it says how many are remaining. It says please choose another source, because what I would do is go to this one, go to that one, that one, that one, and just keep doing them in a row until you've got the most amount of cards. Because if one server is missing a file and moved it, the next one won't. So hit close. Next up we got symbols. You definitely want to download the symbols. And as you can see, it's downloading 625 symbols. All the different set symbols, the different mana symbols, and I don't know what else there would be. Just anything that would show up on a card, basically. Alright, so that's done. Now, the Windows button is any windows that you have open. Right now I have none, so if I click it, nothing happens. So now, you probably want to head over to Deck Editor. That's the best way to edit a deck. Imagine that. Alright, well, oops, I accidentally left the notepad open after that little cut. I got some stuff prepared here. But basically, you got a search box right here. And, there we go. Let's look for Relentless Rats. There, you can never have too many of those. So this is the Add to Deck button. This is the Add to Sideboard button. And then this is the Remove from Deck button. And this is the Remove from Sideboard button right there. So just load up your Relentless Rats. Of course, you got your filters here. So you could say, oh, only show me creatures, and that's it. So just uncheck the things that aren't creatures, and there you go. You've got all creatures. You can also, of course, click a header. To sort, you can sort by rarity, sort by set, sort by color, sort by cost, sort by name, whatever you want to do. And let's see, I better turn those back on, or that's going to mess with me. They also got color filters and just all kinds of stuff. It's really easy to find anything. Usually you can find it just by name. So, the save button will save your current deck configuration. Of course, you can name it whatever you want. New will, of course, wipe it out. Just reset the whole thing. And add land, I don't usually use that button. I usually just use the word forest. And then go by set. And then I scroll down and find BFZ and look for the beautiful full arts. And of course this will be the card preview right there. Very nice. I haven't used import. Apparently you can import from other games. Haven't used generate. That's supposed to auto-generate a deck. That sounds interesting. But if you hit load, these are all my decks. They're, of course, DCK files. They're actually text files. And if I load, let's see, Black Death, you guys know that one. The funny thing is some of these you haven't seen in videos, and now you're probably dying to find out what's in them, but I'm not going to tell you. So you hit open, and here you go. This is the main board. That's the sideboard. And, of course, there's your card total, 15. Card total, 60. 23 lands, 18 creatures, 7... sorceries, 8 instants, and 4 enchantments. I don't remember where artifacts show up under there, actually. I don't know. I mean, I do a spreadsheet in Excel anyway, so I know exactly what ratios I have and all the math, average mana cost, you know, all that stuff. Now, you could view the cards like this. If you hit that little view there, you could see some of these were not downloaded because I told it standard only. This is my modern deck. But the swamps it did. And I prefer the list. It's a lot easier, and especially I'll sort it by type. So I know there's my creatures, there's my instants. Really simple. So I definitely like this program. It's really handy, really easy to use. I don't know. It's just I haven't really had a problem with it. I mean, they had a glitch one time and they fixed it in like 2 days. So it's absolutely amazing. So this is the deck editor. Now, of course, if you hit save, it will save it whatever you want. And then you hit save and it'll be a DCK file. And they all are obviously completely portable. So you can bring it to another computer, just drop it into your decks folder and load it on up. So that's pretty easy. Now, the one thing is, you'll see on some of my videos, I have, what do I call it? Like, here's the deck list in DCK format. Well, what I mean is, you could copy it and paste it. So we've got a notepad open here, just open notepad, and then you copy it, paste it in, and this is what it actually looks like. This is what a DCK file looks like. So you can see that's the sideboard, that's the quantity, the set, and the card number within the set, and then the name, just for verification. So it's real simple. Deck name right there, quantity, and then that's the rest of the deck. So what you have to do, though, is go to File and then Save As, because if you save it, it'll be a .txt file, which does not really work. So you want to take this, change it to All Files, and you can see the DCKs, and call it Des is Awesome Deck .dck, and you put that right in the actual file name. So then if you hit save, it will actually save it as a DCK file, and then you would be able to open it in Xmage. The one thing to remember is, I can't do it because it's not Microsoft Word. Add an extra line right here. There has to be return. If you end it right here, and there's no extra line, like you forgot to hit enter, it will not work as far as I know. So you got to have that extra line there. So I'll just hit Control S there, close it, and there it is. So if I were to go to load, I could look up Des is Awesome Deck. Whoops. Oh my god, Java, seriously. There we go. And load it right up. Which the funny thing is, this is actually Beholder, in case you didn't notice. Beholder 3.0 Alpha. Well, let's move on to the gameplay. Alright, let's hit the gameplay. So what you want to do back on the screen after you hit exit, of course, from the deck list, is hit the connect button. Now the first thing you'll see is localhost, and then whatever username you used before. Definitely set your user flag so that they know where you're from. And if you're connecting to localhost, which is yourself, you could just put in any username and leave the password blank, and then hit connect. Now, if your server is running, which is, of course, the server window, the actual server console here, that's basically the server, doesn't need a UI because it's a server. If it's running, you can connect. So now you want to hit new match. You can name it whatever you want, time limit, put a password on it, doesn't matter. You're on the local server, so who cares? And then deck type. Well, you got all the rules that are enforced. So if it's legacy, they'll make sure all the cards in your deck are legacy legal. So if I go to standard, and I hit this little button to search for the deck, let's see, then I load up Black Death, then I hit go, it's going to say, okay, wait a minute, you have an invalid deck for the selected constructed standard format, the whole damn deck. So change that, constructed modern, there we go. Now allow rollbacks, you definitely want that, especially against the computer, but I don't know anybody who disables that, because like you're a dick if you don't let the person roll back after a misclick or something. Now if you suspect that they're making a mistake, or I mean they made a mistake and they want to change their strategy and now they know how you're going to respond to something, yeah, do not allow the rollback, but basically it'll roll back until like the start of the turn, the start of the previous turn, whatever. So allow quit percentage. I don't remember exactly how that works. It's one of two ways. It's either don't let people join the game who have a high quit percentage, like they quit in the first 10% of a game, or don't let somebody quit the game until a certain percent into it or something like that. Either way, they're just going to leave it there and get an idle timeout like a complete dick. Free mulligans, of course, set this on 5 if you're just testing your deck, because I think we all know a deck isn't going to work with 7 lands. So, I mean, you just want to mulligan until you get something that doesn't suck. And then the win limit, this is like, okay, now you have to win 2 out of 3, and that would be 3 out of 5. I just put it on 1, which is 1 single game, no sideboards. Then, of course, player 1, here we go, there's my name. And that's where I stored my deck, so there it is. And then I go to computer. Now, obviously, I don't want DraftBot. Whoops, I just want mad. I'm not sure what mad means, but I don't know. Maybe it gets mad. Then you want to go to skill. And, of course, there's a glitch where the mouse will not reach number 10, and you can't normally click on it so easy. What you can do is just use the arrow keys and then the enter key. Hooray for Java. So here's where you name the computer. Of course, gonna name it. Whoops. Oh, I'm so sick of that glitch. There we go. Name it Trump. And look at that. It already used the last deck I gave him, which is Beholder 3.0 Alpha. So let's see if Black Death can beat it. Oh, wait a minute. I gave him a deck that holds 0 cards. I think the deck just doesn't exist. There we go. Let's There we go. Okay, that was some deck thing that didn't exist. Alright, so then this is the lobby. So if somebody joins your game, they'll be right here. If there's like a 6-player tournament, they'll show up here. And you can start once. Basically, start as ungrayed out. So here's the interface here. As you can see, I didn't download much of the card artwork in this particular copy of Xmage because I hit standard only. So I probably should be playing with standard deck, but oh well. So let's see, Arrogant Bloodlord, Eternal Thirst, go for the throat, Gyros. Yeah, that's reasonable. Alright, so I'll hit Mulligan no. Now this right here is your what phase is it-ometer, I guess you could call it. Or a timeline, that's probably more accurate. Then of course these are all the shortcuts, you know. If you hit, go to my next turn, it'll skip all actions other than respondable ones. I mean, you can read what they do. This is the description of what all the F keys do and all that sort of things. And this is the log. I mean, this is what all just happened. I won the coin toss, and then I drew 7 cards, and then I kept the hand, and it's, you know, they all decide. I actually didn't win the coin toss, Trump did. So you could see this outline means that it's his turn. Now as for the 2 blocks here, we got, there's your life total, cards in hand. What is that? Poison counters, that's what I thought. That's the number of cards left in your library, which is fantastic because you sometimes in a real match you want to ask, but you don't want them to waste, 3 minutes of their time trying to count their library just so that you know if it's, above 20 or below 20 so that you should swing accordingly with Ulamog, for example. Now this is pooled mana right here. That's the number of cards in the graveyard, and if you single click it, it'll show the actual cards in the graveyard, which are none. That's rather important. And this is cards in exile. Well, there we go. What is that? I'm not familiar with that one. Oh, the command zone. Okay, so emblems and such. Yeah, that makes sense. See, I've been playing this forever, and even I don't know. So if you hit done, you can see it went to the main phase, and they played a Hallowed Fountain. And instead of hitting done, 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 I could have just hit F9. Alright, so we'll go to my main phase, drop a swamp, and you can see it was outlined in purple because it was deemed playable. That's about 95% accurate, so pretty nice. Now, I'm going to hit F9, and you can see they just took an action, brought out a Meddling Mage, and now it's my turn. So, F9 basically means I don't care what they're doing on their turn, and if I can't respond to it, then just go back to my turn, basically. So it's a good way to play speed. Now, you can see these are purple because they're playable. Because I have enough mana. Now, if you have, complicated ways to generate mana, it's going to be wrong. Let's see. Meddling Mage is a dick, so I'm going to use Go for the Throat. Now, it says select a non-artifact creature right there. Pay 2. So tap, tap, and it'll auto-pay and auto-generate the right color, usually. Then play instants or activated abilities if you want to put something else on the stack. So this is very precise about the timing of what's allowed. Alright, so then the spell resolves, and if you ever are like, oh, well, did they respond? What happened? Here's the log right here of everything that happened, so that's great. If you ever want to read a card, you just hover over it, and it will tell you exactly what it does. It'll also tell you the current traits, like does it have trample, does it temporarily have lifelink? Very, very nice, very effective. So let's let them take a turn. Oh my gosh, they're mana screwed and card screwed. That is classic Beholder Alpha. Alright, let's put out Geralf's. AKA Jerry. So now, select an opponent because on the stack, this is the stack down here, is his enter the battlefield effect. So it will say, when Geralf's Messenger enters the battlefield, target opponent loses 2 life. So it will go on the stack, they were able to respond to it, they did not. Then I will select the opponent by clicking on him, and then I could also put something on the stack with his activated ability, which is an ETB effect. So most people don't know that you can actually respond to those and make something go off first. That is really important. This is why Xmage will make you a better Magic player. Alright, so his life total is 16. And Gyros comes in tapped. Oh no! He played an unsummon. Oh, that's such a dick move. And really stupid because I'll just deal 2 more damage to him. Oh, there's a face down card. I actually don't remember what that is. It's like the only morph in the deck and I don't remember what it is. Terrible. Alright, let's play Swamp. Now, if you accidentally pool your mana before you cast a spell, you can see I got 2 pooled right here for black. You can say, oh, I want to cast Languish. And I want to use this mana and that mana. So you click right on the symbol. Now you can see this went down, so I only have to pay 2 more. And if I tap it in response to having to pay for something, it will go directly into that spell, not into the pool. Well, I mean, it does go to the pool. It's just in the program it doesn't. So I just languished him. That was fun. Probably should have done with 2 Geralfs on the field and just delayed it. Ooh, Judge's Familiar. I'm going to keep going because it's interesting to see who would win against these 2 decks here. Let's go Arrogant with Eternal Thirst. So it would say select a creature, that's who you're targeting, and when. So you first propose that you're casting the spell and reveal it from your hand. Then you say who it's targeting. Then you pay for it. A lot of people don't do stuff in that order, believe it or not, when they're playing in real life. And he used another unsummon. What a dick. Alright, let's see. He's got to be running low on those at some point, but I did put Cyclonic Rift in. Ooh, he's hitting me! No! This is such an annoying deck. Alright. Well, I lost that Eternal Thirst, unfortunately. I just did it because it was 5. Let's see. I'll do Gatekeeper with the Kicker. So it'll ask anything important about what's going on right now, or why the game isn't proceeding is right here. So pay Kicker, yes. Boom, boom, boom. There it is. Select a player, him of course. And that's the whenever he enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, target player sacrifices a creature. So then I target the player, and he had to sack a creature, and there we go, it resolves. So then we'll proceed to his turn. You can always see what phase it is right here. Reflecting Pool, nice pull, but he only has 3 cards in hand. Now he's got 5 in the graveyard. Now if I want to know what they were, I would click on them, and there they are. Boy, this game looks a lot better when all the artwork is in. Alright, let's see. That's my bad, though. So, Geralf's Messenger. Woo! Alright, select an opponent. And then Geralf's Messenger again. Select an opponent. 2 more damage. Now, if I pull a Languish, the game is just about over. That would be awesome, because I would swing Languish. They would die. They would use Undying. Ooh, Gitaxian Probe. And let's see. Puts an island on after that. Must not have gotten anything good into hand. And, oh, it's Gatekeeper. Let's see. Let's try a little. Oh, that's opponent. Shoot, I was going to target myself. Oh, wait. Oh, target player. It is target player. Okay. Let's have some fun. So I'll attack. Now that's attacking all out. You can see. They're attacking him. Now it would swing at a Planeswalker if there was a Planeswalker. And there we go. Now during my second main phase, I'm going to cast Gatekeeper, pay the Kicker, yes. Select a player, myself. And let's see, I will select a creature, that's the target creature. And select an opponent because he came back onto the battlefield. There's that ability, it's Geralf's Messenger's ability. And those arrows are just the best thing ever. 2 damage and I win the game. So it'll say you won the game on turn 16. More traditionally, we would call it turn 8. It's total turn 16 though. And then it'll kick you back to the lobby. And then you got your result list right here. So Desolator Magic 1-0 against Trump. Start time, end time, and everything. Pretty handy. Now let's talk about online play. Alright, so as you can see, I've changed the server name on the Connect to window. If you hit find, it'll bring up the list of them. We got Europe, Germany, North America, Europe, France, South America, Brazil, Asia, or local host, which is how you switch it back to yourself. Whoops, I of course play on the Wiggerworks server, which is North America. So if you hit OK, it'll put that in the server target, I guess I'll say URL, because that's basically what it is. And then you got your username, got your password. Now it does store your password between logins, so if anybody else uses your computer, great. I mean, I don't know a way around it. But if you do need to register a brand new person, you hit register new user, and it is per server. So then it'll say server name, port number, which is always 17171. Then whatever username you want, pick a password, make sure it matches, and then put in an email, which, as they say, is only used for password resetting. They're gonna like sign you up for the meme of the day, like email newsletter, I guess. That would be my Twitter feed, actually, if you want that. But hit connect. There you are. You're on the server. Now these over here are all the users that are online. This is the server chat box. I'm sure this will go well and I won't regret it. Whoops. I'm sure nobody will say anything inappropriate. But, yeah, these are all the games that are going on right now. These are all the game records, I believe. So you could look up results if somebody's like, hey, I just beat this person. Well, maybe they didn't. So look it up in the results. I always found that to be hilarious. So, games with the join button are joinable. And, games with the show button... Actually, I'm not sure. Oh, those are tournaments. I get it. So show is like show the tournament that you could sub-watch from there. Otherwise, you just hit watch and you can spectate a game, which is pretty cool. Oh, here we go. Wow. Oh, they said they love my channel. That is so sweet. And then that's your typical comment right there. Thanks, everyone. Love you. Alright. By the way, in case you haven't seen it, can't type today. My epic real-time text hack. I can't speak today either. This is going to be a terrible video. Yeah, I installed a secondary keyboard layout that I made myself. It's unblockable. You can use it in any online game. It's hilarious. Anyway, if you hit new match, this is where it's going to be human, and then you just leave it open and you make a lobby. So now if you put a password on the game, only certain people can join it. They have to know the password. So if I hit join on this game, and then it says, hey, what's the password? Actually, in fact, if I hit join, it'll ask for the password regardless. If there is no password, great. It'll just let it go. And if there is a password, I better know it, and it'll tell me I better know it. Now here's the whole browse for deck button. So, okay, I'm going to load up Black Death right there. And, yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. I mean, there's just not a whole lot different than playing locally. So that's pretty awesome. Hey, look, he just asked, when is your tournament, Desolator? Well, that's a great segue, because we're going to have an Xmage tournament coming up really soon, as soon as I hit 10,000 subs. Of course, this is just an Xmage tutorial, so people are now like, what? They're going to be watching this 3 years from now, like, even more, what? But, yeah, sometime in the very near future or past, depending upon your perspective, we're going to have a tournament on Xmage, and there's going to be passworded games, obviously, because I'm not just going to do first-person join. Well, actually, I am, but it's going to be only people from my YouTube channel instead of the general public. So, should be fun. I'm not going to show an actual game against a human because that would take forever, but as soon as you're done, you can just hit disconnect. There we go. And there it is. So that's about all there is to Xmage. If there's any further questions, please leave them in the comment section, and I'll try to hit that up and answer them. Otherwise, hopefully this has been pretty extensive as to how to play. What I probably left out were some little teeny tiny details about like how to do particular things, like if you use explosive vegetation and only click on one card, and then you accidentally close the window, you have to click back on the spell on the stack to reopen the window because, well, there's no other way to do it other than continuing with only choosing to draw one land, which is a thing that is possible. So I've heard of people saying, hey, I closed it, oh crap, now I guess I'm just stuck drawing only one land. Well, no, I mean, there's always a way to do pretty much everything. I've never gotten completely stuck in this program, except for like a glitch or something. So hopefully this helps you guys out, and I'll see you on Xmage.